We about to get ready to start the show. It's the show. The levels is good. There we go.
Want to hear some hot takes? Let's see how woke you are. Hear something about podcasts? Hell, they got me. Get them here, mama. I got these 3 drunk uncles with a sport podcast. They say they got fire takes, pure fuego. Find them wherever you listen to podcasts. If it's what they say it is, you like it, you subscribe. Listen, like, you subscribe. You know how to call into the show? Yeah, man. With a pod beater. You'll need headphones, a mic. They'll also be at sharp 8:07 p.m. on the first Wednesdays of the month. You may get some free blue chew. And they keep receipts. If anything happens in this sports world, I'm gonna drop it faster than a rapper gets spoken. The 3 things I heard was 6:30 in the morning. My word, my dog, and this podcast. Don't break my nose. MyT Sports.
Always let's do it. Let's get into it. Evening, and welcome back to another edition of MyT Sports Podcast. You see it up top. It's another Fuego here in the hottest city in the world. We're coming at you live and direct from Shorty's. You know we're recording live in South Florida. It is another one of those beautiful days. We had another one of those beautiful sports nights in sports history. I just made that word, by the way. History. That's a new word on the MyT Sports Podcast. We got everything that we want to talk to our folks. Hope you guys know this is officially Volume 7, Episode 101, Track 434 of the MyT Sports Podcast. It is officially May 18th. They said we're going to have highs of 91, lows of 74. It is humid as fuck out here. I am telling you, like, I officially have swamp ass. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I officially have swamp ass today. Like it is hot as fuck out here. We got a beautiful crowd out here today. You guys give yourself a round of applause. Folks, we got a big show coming up for you guys today, folks. We're going to get into it all. We're going to talk about BBC Jimmy. Yeah, we had one of those BBC Jimmy nights. Folks, I don't want to hear any other kind of way to talk about this man anymore, but I'm going to have to add a pause and leave that one. But folks, we're going to get into some BBC Jimmy. Folks, women are finally getting some of their breakthrough. We're going to get a little bit into that. Kyrie has officially opened up. We're going to talk about that. The rats are still out and they're still talking. We're going to get into that a little bit more, folks. We're going to give you out a Blue Chew promo code so you guys can get yourself a free order of Blue Chew in case you guys don't know. As I've already told you guys, we're recording live directly here from Shorty. Now, we're supposed to have Richie on here a little bit later, but I already may have gotten early notice that Richie may have snuck out the back door already. So we'll see if we're going to have Richie joining us on the podcast. Of course, you know we're going to talk about Britney and her detention, right? And also her greatness as that. And also, folks, we're gonna go out here. We're gonna pick some of these series winners. We got some trivia for you guys. Of course, you know we got trivia. That means we got some Blue Chew to give away for those trivia winners as well. Folks, we have all that and more coming up later on the MyT Sports Podcast. But I hope you guys know what we say, y'all. Regardless of the time. And regardless of the weather.
I want winners.
It's always a good time to talk some sports. Let's start this motherfucker up again. So, let's start talking. Get in. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. I scared the shit out of somebody. I did. I seen your heart pump out the back of your white feet.
And I don't scare him. Woo! I was like, shit.
I had to get my boys Ricky and Flip in the building.
I thought it was a buzz, bro.
Oh man, what another beautiful day that we had there, folks. But before we get into the sports and we actually start talking anything sports related and get directly into the podcast, let's start off the podcast the way that we like to start off all podcasts, and that is with a little birthday party. And if you guys don't know what the birthday party is, it's real simple. Is that we like to give a little birthday shout out to everybody that's had a birthday since the last time that we was here on the podcast. So hey, yo, my boy DJ MyT, go ahead and do me a favor and go ahead and drop that beat.
I also like big booty holes, and that's my fucking problem.
Did I just hear somebody say they like big booty holes?
That one.
Did I just hear that correctly? Did somebody in the audience just say they like big booty hoes?
Big booty hoes.
Yeah.
Is that what I heard right? Somebody likes big booty hoes?
This guy right here.
Listen, I like big booties too.
Yes, sir.
Listen, shit. Like a big old ignorant booty too, like a big old juicy booty, like that shit that proves like all kinds of words.
Fake or real?
Oh, it gotta be real. It gotta be real. I'm not a fan of government cheese like that. I need that shit real. You know what I mean? I need that shit to be able. I need to be able to put it on top of a fondue and dip my face in it. You know what I'm saying?
You got a real guy right now.
Listen, like I don't understand. See, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna warn you guys, right? You're interrupting the birthday party. I'm gonna warn you guys. This is a life podcast that revolves around sports. So yes, I talk sports, but I'll talk anything. Right? Listen, I was born with the gift of gab, and I'm gonna gab my ass off. Listen, I wouldn't be out here if I wasn't. These bright ass lights sweating my ass off for no good goddamn reason. Like shit, I don't need no extra tan. Like. But no, I like. You know what? I'll write that down as a topic. Booty.
Big booty. Wait, no, real or fake?
Big booty.
Real or fake?
Real.
Do you like real
Or
women?
fake.
Or do you like the fake
Okay.
bougie fakeness? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna post that question also to my listeners, right? And see what they say about real booties or fake booties.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and we'll talk about that in a minute. I see one of the drunk uncles popping up. I see KJ. KJ's already eyes about it. He's like, yo, you talking about big booties? He's like, yo, I thought I was missing the sports. We're gonna talk about some big booties today. You know what? It actually kind of fits the theme of the podcast because I was gonna talk about some BBC today, and now I get to talk about some big booties as well. We're covering it all here on the MyT Sports Podcast. Right. So let's go and get into the birthday party, right? If you guys know anybody that has a birthday out there, you go that had a birthday either yesterday or today, you go ahead and let me know, write the information, and I'll go ahead and give them a birthday shout out. But for everybody else, I know you guys listen. Don't trust me to remember your birthday. If it wasn't for Facebook, I'm not remembering anybody's birthday. So you guys want to go make sure you also go ahead and you follow me on Facebook. Now, for the birthday shout-outs. Okay, so we have a birthday yesterday. That was for one Liz Cook. Actually, I think some of you...
I know Liz Cook.
I was about to say that.
She works.
I think some of the people in the audience may know Liz Cook. She's working...
Happy birthday.
Does she still live down here? She moved away, right?
She moved away, but she moved back.
Did she?
I think so.
Oh, I know she used to work here, and then her boyfriend used to work at Ale House or some shit like that, right?
I don't know that much meat.
Okay.
Brother, I stay out of it.
No, I just remember that one because I had people with her boyfriend
Personal
at the time.
privacy, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, never mind. She doesn't have a boyfriend, and he doesn't
She's
work.
single, holler.
Yeah,
and
she's
a real
single.
booty.
Yeah. Listen,
She got a real booty.
speaking of real ones and fake ones, right?
She's a real one.
In the booty area. You know.
Oh, God, stop that.
Listen, of course I like real booties. Listen, I think I just came from the era where we just like our shit's real. I mean, I'm a man. I'm 40.
Where you come from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, New York.
Yeah, I'm a Brooklyn boy. I'm one of Brooklyn's finest. I'm the Brooklyn buzzsaw. Like I'm Brooklyn's forgotten son. Like I got a lot of AKAs. They also call me AKA the motor mouth of the South because I'm also a ring announcer for one of the local wrestling promotions down here as well. Also, like I said, I'm the Brooklyn buzzsaw, AKA like I'm the Army Black Knight. I'm all of it. I'm AKA. Who am I making? I'm AKA Mr. Energy. Like yeah, that one fits well. Yeah, but it's spelled NRG, like November Romeo Golf. Like, only 3 letters. I got. Not even ADD because like I actually have like ADD. That shit goes.
Oh, but you're too old for that shit though.
I am too old for
If
ADD.
you're nowadays,
Like,
yeah,
what ended up happening is that
diagnosed.
if I was probably like 10 years younger,
Yeah,
I probably would
you'd be
have ADD.
diagnosed.
But
You're too old.
because I'm a man, I'm 40. we had go outside and play. Right? Go burn that shit the fuck off. Like, hey, you're a little hyper right now. Go outside and play. Go run up and down the block. Go ride your bike. Go get out of my face.
Yes.
And go do something. Not inside this house. Because I mean, like when you was inside the house back in the day, like all you was gonna do was play with your toys. Like you had some video games, but you wasn't staying in the house and playing video games like that.
You're not gonna be tired with Xbox.
Yeah, you got a couple of handhelds.
PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, you wore yourself the fuck out. It's like you gonna be sitting around eating chips and fried chicken, all this shit all day. You need to go run around. That's for real.
Preach.
We come from a good time. What's going on, Chillville? See my boy Chillville up in the building. Chillville actually managed to get into the beginning of the podcast. Yo, talk to your boy. KJ. What's going on with him? He's pulling a Kyrie on me. Like he's over here potting when he wants to. He's over here thinking like, yo, due to the hardships in the world of all the people that have gained weight over COVID, I don't know if I can continue to pot like everybody else. So yo, talk to him, yo. I can't take his protest right now. I don't know what's going on. I got two other drunk uncles that's supposed to be here. But the thing that when you have drunk uncles, right, they're kind of, unless you're me, they're kind of unreliable. And I heard Chill Will just pop up in the building. Let's go ahead and get Chill Will his proper intro, because you know Chill Will gets pouty if he don't get his proper intro. He really does. So like my boy Chill Will likes to say, hey, yo, DJ MyT, drop that beat.
Drop takes, don't you? Drop takes, don't you? Yes, sir! Well, if you're gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously.
Cleveland! This is for you!
What's going on, Chill Will? Say what's up to the people.
What's good? It's really good in here.
As you guys know, or if it's your first time here, Chill Will is my senior Ohio correspondent. He's one of the drunk uncles. He's the most reliable of the drunk uncles. But that's because he does something similar to what I do, right? And what I mean is that he entertains the crowd. He goes out into the public, he goes to your local watering holes, and he entertains the people. Chill Will, tell the people where they can find you at.
Chill_CLE, that's Charlie Lima Echo. Chill_CLE on Instagram. And that's basically my platform. Anything reference to DJ, and I come out Florida on your ass. Real. But you know, we keep it all honey. You know what I'm saying? We keep it all good. Today we talking sports, Talking sports. And KJ, have been MIA. You've been MIA.
Chill Will, we're not just gonna talk about sports. We're gonna talk about some big booties too. We're gonna talk about big. We got a lot of questions for the audience. We're gonna talk about some big booties too. We're gonna talk about big booties. We're gonna talk about some BBC. We're gonna talk about Jimmy. We're gonna talk about all of it. B. What about Baywatch?
As long as they washed up, I'm good.
Okay, no doubt. So
Baywatch, I said as long as they washed up. Big booties wash big booties.
yeah. Listen, I haven't. Listen, I'm only going to speak for myself, right? And I know that there's I must be a lucky one, but I also feel that most chicks that I've known with big booties know how to wash their ass properly. They try to take pride in. Like I've seen them in the shower. Like they really get in there. Like they get in there. They get in there elbow deep. Like you understand? Like that whole entire forearm disappears in that motherfucker. And then you think to yourself like, that's about to be me in the next 25 minutes. Geronimo! I've seen them in the shower. Churro, so I'm catching your echo, Churro.
I know.
Oh no, wait, that's not you. Wait, that's me.
Who came in?
My bad. No. I'm sorry, that was me. I was checking out the other feeds to see who was listening. That's my bad.
Cool.
That was me on the YouTube. So for everybody in the audience, right? If you would like to listen to the podcast when we're not here live on every Wednesday, I do have 2 flyers up right there. You can scan the QR code, and that will take you to everything MyT Sports related. You can go ahead and like, follow, and also go ahead and subscribe. That way you can hear that little bing bong every time that we go live.
No prayer.
If you listen long enough, I may cause you a little bit of
emotional damage.
That's what happens here. That's what happens here on the podcast. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the birthday shout-outs, right? Let's go ahead and get that out of the way so we can get into these topics of the day. Because, like, the topics were already juicy, and then they just got juicy. So, I gotta get this birthday shout-out. His face. Look at that all. We coming right back to you.
Scott, when he caught that frisbee.
Oh,
And it was like,
that's so nasty. That's just flattered.
Okay, I think the last time we did this, we left off at Liz Cook, that some of us may know. She's one of the local resident workers here. She used to work here at Sharky's. I can't remember all the other places that she used to work at, but she definitely used to work here, definitely at Sharky's. So you guys give a little birthday shout out to your former resident Sharky's girl, Liz Cook. Right. Also, I have a birthday for today, but I don't know if this is a birthday or the opening or the day that a business opened up themselves on social media. But to Vanessa's Gas Inventory, like we want to give a shout out to you as well. So to all of them, let's go ahead and get them out there right? Because how do we do this? How do we do this? Let's show them because it's your birthday. He said it's your birthday. Yeah, check it. Yeah, because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Yo, so definitely want to say happy birthday to Liz, happy birthday Vanessa. We hope you have known to have a happy birthday. We hope you party hard, we hope you enjoy everything, we hope you regret nothing, but more importantly, right, get your weekend at Bernie's on and continue to stay. Alright. Now let's go ahead and shut this birthday party down, right? So let's get into the VIP section of the show, right? Oh, shut up the VIP.
Hey!
Oh!
Come here.
We have a four-legged Freddy up in the building as well, Joe loving the podcast.
Yeah, I don't want to give you all my shit if she knocks over your shit.
I see her tail wagging. She's loving the podcast. She is loving the podcast. Let's go ahead and get this birthday cut. Alrighty. So let's get into our first topic of the day, right? Because we had a topic that was thrown upon us, right? Ran by one of our random listeners, and I want to get into this. Not only do I want to get into this on the podcast, I want to get into this in real life. So first of all, those things first. Let's talk about booties, right? We had this topic presented to us. Let's talk about booties, right? We just might as well also. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make me. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about Y'all remember that one? Fuck it. All right. So, big booties. You ready for this, Chill Will? You ready for the first MyT question of the day?
Shots.
Right. So, when it comes to booties, do you like them real, right, or do you like them fake? That is the question.
Real.
Is this KJ first?
No, KJ's not even here.
Still here?
KJ has not made it. KJ has not made it to the champagne room. KJ has not made it. Yo, have you texted him? Text him.
To me, it's definitely real.
Well, listen, do me a favor, Chill Will. Like, you know I can't text her.
Keep my name out your fucking mouth!
Is that KJ?
I'm kidding. I love all my names in your mouth.
Whoa, pause. Hey, yo. Okay, so no, KJ's not here, but text him for me. Text him for Chill Will. Tell him to tune in. Because he said he had some fire, and this wasn't even the fire topic I was gonna go. This one got dropped in our lap, right? This one got dropped in our lap as we got here tonight, right? And thank you very much. What was your name again? Who dropped that bomb on us? What's your name? Question bringer, topic giver. What's your name?
Me?
Yes, you.
Christina.
Christina, thank you very much for.
Wait, what was the verdict?
Wait, we're still going through this. So thank you very much for our first topic of the day, because we're just not getting into it. And for everybody else back there.
Oh shit!
We can both play this game.
Hey, I'll play.
That was like a Will Smith moment. Like he slapped the shit out of
Alright, so listen, we got people passing in the crowd too. When it comes to booties, do you like them real or fake, Pippin? Serious question. We're doing a podcast. I'm taking a poll right now. When it comes to booties, do you like them real or fake?
Real.
Did he say real?
Yeah.
Did he say real? Did he say he likes some real?
He likes some real.
Okay.
Worse than a big old disproportional booty.
See, this is why I love you, because Chillwill didn't hear my initial answer at the very beginning of the podcast. But go ahead, Chillwill, talk your talk, homie.
Man, don't nobody want to see that shit. That shit look, you look like you built like you put together wrong. Like God made it, like you got deformity. Like that's don't look right. You got them skinny ass legs, wide ass, all that ass. That ain't even shaped right. It's just be subtle. Like I mean, all that middle meat clogged up. Ugh. Nah, I'm good. Look at Lil Kim. You can look in the eyes. Look like you got a diaper on. Look like you got a damn diaper on. You know how the kids walk around with diaper booty? Like that's how your booty looks, baby girl. What we supposed to do together? You just collecting. You collecting like lint, and your ass is like a shit trap. Like wow. Shit's horrible. You gotta take a bath. You want to get in the shower? No, you gotta take a bath with all that.
I know. Where are we
You gotta put some water in that booty.
Right back to the wall.
Put some vinegar in that water.
Nope. Some apple cider vinegar.
Snap that pussy back. You know that shit.
Oh, yo, I haven't heard that in a minute. Oh, look.
Yeah, you need to does the drop, bro. Snap that pussy back.
Oh, trust me, I was already marking it down.
Yeah, man. Drop that booty into some water, and man, it's just not a good look. Even like it's still a good look. Like I like subtlety. I don't need. Most dudes like subtlety. It doesn't just be hard sometimes. And then don't get bounce right. You know what I'm saying? It don't look nothing. Nothing about that is attractive to me. Even fake breasts. I don't like that shit.
Woo! Preach, brother. Preach.
When it comes to the fake breast, like that's actually the one place I'm willing to make an exception.
Excuse you?
Nah.
Listen, no.
Disagree.
I never said preferably. I'm just saying.
Have you ever seen a you know how your little girl cousins play with the Barbie doll and they take off and they just look like they got titties and little bumps.
Oh my God.
Like they be hard as fuck, like a wrestling man's. I don't want my titties to look like that, like two turned over cereal bowls in they chest. Like I don't want to. That shit's horrible, bro.
No. They're like sunny side up eggs when they come out all rock, like fucking sloppy.
Big ass nipple, quarter size nipple just poking out. That shit look like a garden tool or something. I don't know. That shit's not nice.
To all the non-believers.
Oh, this is so fun.
I agree.
I gotta record that.
Listen, like, there's one thing you definitely said, Chivo. I'm gonna bring it back to the booty. Now, like we gonna leave the upper body for a different vision. We're only talking about ass.
No.
I'll do it to Brandon.
And wait, is that Rich? Is that who I see there? Is that Rich? Okay, so listen, I heard you snuck out the back door. I was about to be vexed. I was like, how you gonna sneak out? We gonna get you in here in about like half an hour, Rich.
I'm sure women don't want no little penises. I don't want no fake booties.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, right? That's a lie. I have you have enough homegirls by now, chill girls. Right? Enough homegirls that you are 100% real with. And you know that there are way too many of your homegirls that they have dudes that have tiny Johnsons. And they're okay with it.
I do not know that. I know this, but I'm just saying if they could prefer. I don't know. Maybe when they start bringing out they got the fake penis for surgery now they're coming out. We'll see what happens.
Well, okay, maybe not prefer because I also know a handful that hates the ginormous monster pops, right? Like they don't like that shit. Like,
man, yeah, I get that too. Yeah, I get that.
They need their Goldilocks moment. They need their cock just right. You know what I mean? Like but they most of them prefer undersized than oversized. I've actually gotten that. But listen, ladies, we'll answer that one as well too. We'll get a poll in the audience on how you like your poll, right? So we'll get into all of that as I warned you guys. This is a life podcast that revolves around sports, and today we're gonna talk some life. Life. In my bag today. All right, so let me make my comment about the real booty or the fake booty. I like my booties real. You kind of said the same thing I was saying. Like I like a nice ignorant, booty. Like a kind of booty that if it was a pair of eyes, it would be cockeyed. Like I like that motherfucker to like move all over the place when it walks. Like you know how that shit is like you know those fake eyes that those glasses that make eyes just kind of pop out and go all over the place. Like whatever the fuck they are. That's how I like my booty to look when it's walking. I think that shit just everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't do that with a fake booty. And you did mention something too about the disproportionateness. It looks like a capital letter P. It looks horrible. You literally look like a capital letter P. Because that's probably the worst thing about it because your legs are so skinny and tiny, and then all of a sudden you decide to put this fucking wrecking ball on it. Like seriously? Like it doesn't look like. So I'm gonna tell you. So it's one of those things where it doesn't look good in jeans, and it doesn't look like it has very specific positions when a fake booty actually looks good. There's not a lot of places where it looks good. Now, there's all kinds of fake booties. Now, we're just talking about you capital letter P people. I do know a lot of people that have taken a little bit of, stuff from the stomach and just kind of like added a little bit of fat from the stomach, just add a little bit of more of that fat to the ass, you know what I mean? And everything, and just used it to...
That's different.
Yeah, use it to just firm, use your own fat to firm it up and make things a little bit more perkier and shit like we ain't talking about you ladies. Actually, you ladies are perfectly okay with me. Like you can sit on my face anytime. Right? But I do like a nice little natural booty. Like I'm sorry. And you know what thing about it? Like sometimes and I said I like a nice ignorant ass. I don't even need a nice ignorant ass. I just like a nice ass. As long as you got just a crease and a cup and enough little fold underneath, like we good. Like as long as you like I hate to say it, as long as you're not a pancake, as long as you're not an ironing board, right? Then I can fucks with you. Like I just need a little something. Just give me enough that when I'm back there, it doesn't feel like your pelvic is grinding into my goddamn hip. You know what I mean? Like you need cushion between us. Just a little bit, just a little something. So for the people out there, let's continue to get this poll. When it comes to booties, do you like them real or do you like them fake?
All of it. I like both of them.
Which one do you prefer the most?
Jigglypuff.
You like a jigglypuff?
It's easier to twerk with. How do you twerk with a fake ass?
Actually, twerking with a fake ass actually becomes a little bit easier because you can just manipulate.
Are you joking my ass? I don't know. I've never had a fake ass, so I can't. Although I did hear it's all the ankles. I learned this in quarantine.
Someone had fake ankles?
No.
Oh.
We twerk, it starts at the ankles.
Oh, twerking starts at the ankles. Actually, it starts with the cord. Everything starts with the cord.
Teach me more, Sensei.
Everything starts with the cord. So.
Wait, that makes no sense.
Greg. So which one do you prefer? Real booties or fake booties? Real? Okay. I know I saw Rich over there in the background.
So, I want to know who's saying fake.
What that?
Everyone's saying fake.
They wouldn't admit it.
I haven't had anybody say fake.
Brazilians don't need a fake ass. It's called a Brazilian butt lift to emulate the Brazilian body.
But also, you have to understand something too, right? What men prefer and what we will take is two different things.
Yes.
That part.
Correct.
Like you understand, like
That part.
And
we
the fake
prefer
ass is coming
we
away.
prefer real
You're gonna
booty,
take that shit.
but if a fake ass girl come over like wiggle,
Wiggle, wiggle. You're gonna wiggle.
we about to jiggle. You know what I'm saying? Gang in this thing.
So inappropriate. This is a family restaurant.
But this isn't a family show.
Oh, come on, it's way past family time.
Listen, and once the sun sets, like we treat this like the park. Okay, like once the sun sets, like all children, like all married women go home.
What are we talking about?
Wait, have you ever had...
This is a sports podcast, but this is a life podcast that revolves around sports.
I'm curious, what are we talking about?
What we're talking about right now is what kind of booty do you prefer? Do you like a real booty or a fake booty?
Real booty.
Real booty. Like I'm telling you, like, we got more for the
You
real
wanna put
booty.
down a fake
Okay, we got some people crossing the street
Oh,
over
no,
there. For you individuals crossing the street, we have a question on. Wait, I think I know that. Hey, yo, Josh. I see you, Josh. Which one do you like? Do you like a real booty or a fake booty?
I like a booty's personality.
Do you like your booties real or fake?
Who's on the inside?
I know you hear me, Jay. Oh no, listen, he's sidetracked. Listen, I'm over here trying to ask him questions about booty, but he got booty in his face and booty on his mind. He ain't trying to answer my questions. I can see where his priorities are at, and I can't be mad at that. Where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? Where the ladies at?
That makes more sense.
Talk to me.
Mailbox, bud.
If you can touch it, it is technically real.
That's it. It's right there in front of your face.
In the physical form, yes.
I'm just
by
saying,
Sir Isaac
it is
Newton.
what it is.
By Sir Isaac Newton's law,
Yep.
it is technically real.
Physically, that's real, so that's okay.
Who's your,
I still rather have
Knee
real
alone.
booty, but yeah.
What?
Knee alone. I think I've told you already. I don't know if you guys may have heard, but I'm a man. I'm 40. Right, so I have an old head crush. You wanna know who my first was? My first crush. I was probably like 4. It was Madonna. I'm telling you, and also she's also the reason that I started liking white women.
Thank you, Madonna.
It was all because Madonna was up there. I didn't know what she was singing, but she was over there like a virgin, touched for the very first time, and I was like, I want to be touched like that. And then my babysitter, like 2 years later, touched me like that. It was the best feeling in the world.
Stop! So you're 6-year-old.
Yes, for like 6, 7. The first time I lost my virginity, technically.
7.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
You lie.
No, yeah, my babysitter, all day long. It's a tough story to swallow. It's just what happened back then. It's the 80s. It was crazy. I'm a man. I'm 40. It was Wild Wild West back then.
What? You are a liar.
You know what? So, you know what's funny?
No one would touch you.
Me and my cousin have this conversation all the time,
Liar.
right?
Who and who?
Me and my cousin have this conversation all the time, and he gets the same response because he was only a year younger than me. I'm older than me. Sorry.
You're a liar. There is no way at 7 years old. I have a son who's 14, and he's still a virgin. There is no way at 7.
Listen, it happened. It ain't the most ethical thing. Listen, I was 7, not 2 days. Like
That big. No, you're lying. It's not that big. You know how much growth you've had?
Like, you understand,
You know
like, I come from a tribe from like
7
down
years
to...
old and 14.
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
There's no way.
Listen, it's not a story.
You have a disturbing babysitter. Don't you dare say I'm a man. I'm sorry.
It's a story that is not meant to be believed, right? Because nobody wants to believe it. And until you realize what happened, like you realize that for a while, like it's a badge of honor. You're like, yo, the fuck? But then you realize that's what it sounds like. But in the 80s, it didn't sound like that.
Well, right now it sounds like you were molested. I'm a man. I'm smart.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what didn't happen.
Emotional damage.
That did happen.
That did not happen.
Not this Friday.
I'm
Maybe now you are.
perfectly okay with it.
Maybe at 7 years old, and right now you are. You never know what triggers happen. We have triggers.
Listen, I have more triggers from war than I have from that.
We're children. We go through trauma. Then we don't go what we're deal with. And then we get into an adulthood.
The movie theaters nowadays, they're like
And these
fucking
certain
houses.
traumas that us no matter what.
Behind this, you got these big chains.
But it's been from many things.
Have a
This is one of those.
football field.
There you go. It's one of them.
Listen, it goes perfectly okay. It's Kevin Garnett, Boston championship. Moments, they all happen. Alrighty, so we'll continue to ask this question to the crowd as we see more and more people pass by and continue to get them told. But we have a complete runaway so far. Every single vote that we have gotten so far has been for big booties and big booties alone. So it look like not big booties, real booties. Everybody likes them. I think I'm not going to push anybody off.
Good girl. That was a good stop.
Good job! I can't reach it.
All right, so let's get into our first topic, right? Our first real sports topic of the evening, and it is definitely a hot topic. How about the Miami Heat? Where the Heat fans at? Where the Okay, they're somewhere. They're around here somewhere. They're around here somewhere. We hear you. We hear you. You a Heat fan, puppy? Okay, so. The Heat did a thing last night. I don't know if you guys saw this game last night, but the Heat and the Boston Celtics were having their first game of the Eastern Conference Championship. And it was one of those iconic games, especially as a game one, right? It was one of those iconic games by a player that at times probably doesn't get enough, and I really do mean enough respect when it comes to the sports talk media, right? And he's actually one of those players that we highly respect him. When I say highly, I mean we highly respect him. It's just unfortunate that he plays for the wrong team, right? As you guys know, we're Knicks fans. I'm a Knicks fan, right? But when I say that we highly respect him, like we made a drop about him. We have multiple drops for him. Like you understand, like he's out. He's one of our favorite drop givers. We have. And then there's the. And then there's the.
That's because she was calling out to that Jimmy. In that Jimmy.
I can guard him and he can't guard me. Like at the end of the day, he just don't say his man.
Watch that dog.
You understand? Jimmy Butler's everywhere. He's everywhere on our drop sheet, and he was everywhere in last night's game. Now, this was one of those games, right? Where, and let's go ahead and set it up. I already told you who balled the fuck out, but let's go ahead and set this up a little bit, right? So we have game one. We have game one getting ready to be played.
I made her not like you though.
Before the game is started, we hear that Marcus Smart is not going to be played, right? But we got warning back. Right now, Marcus, what's going on? You let me know when you're ready to come on and tell your joke of the day. Yeah, Norm's joke of the day. We're going to make it the new Norm on Wednesday. We're not ready for you yet, Norm. But I got you. I got you. I'm not ready for you yet, but I got you. I'll call you up. I want to talk. Did you watch that Heat game last night? Did you watch that Heat game? No, I'm serious. Did you watch that Heat game last night?
No, but I did watch the soccer game today.
Who's playing?
It was the Frankfurters and the Scottish, and I'm Scottish.
Okay, so just Germany, Frankfurt, right?
Yeah, Frankfurt, Germany, and some city in Scotland. But I'm Scottish on both sides. Hamilton, Hamilton. Hughes.
Okay, so I got you. I'm just going to take it back. You know what? I don't get you. Let me lose you again. So, what's your joke of the day? Someone, Scott's one? Oh, Germany one?
David Belated did that shit. David Belated did that.
Okay, so what's your joke of the day? We got Norm's joke of the day.
Really? So, when you get home, kiss girl.
You know, comment on that one?
You were an 88.
He takes full credit for everything. Vocal, smart.
Oh, I love it.
You know what? I'm mad. Norm, I'm half mad at you because you didn't speak into this mic properly, so that everybody out there can hear you. That was a hell of a joke. And that, folks, is Norm's joke of the day.
Emotional damage.
Oh man, that was funny. I'm gonna save that one. I'm definitely gonna save that one into the books. So the Miami Heat take on the Boston Celtics, right? Before the game starts, we find out that Marcus Smart is not playing, right? And this is a good reasonable time to find out Marcus Smart isn't playing. But minutes before the game is started, we find out Al Horford isn't playing because Al Horford gets sent into COVID protocol. And this is always, and I know I keep saying this, and I truly believe it's because of where we live in South Florida, right? Or in Florida, period. That anytime I hear about somebody being in COVID protocol, I start thinking like, oh shit, that's still going on? Like, we still doing that? Like, and I do realize sometimes that it really has to do with the area that you're at. Because then I hear other people, other reporters, other announcers, when they come down to Florida, and they're talking about how they're maneuvering based off how they had to maneuver and wherever they were at. They're like, yeah, they all the way outside in Florida, and they not lying. Like, we've been outside. Like, when they up the mandate to like certain levels or like lowered it to like certain levels, it's like, oh, we weren't there already. Like, shit. But I still know it's nothing to make fun of men. They justify it, obviously. It's just one of those. It's just one of those instant days that happened, and you really get a sense of this. Like I said, this really is kind of basic where you're at. Okay, so after Boston and Miami, and this is a game where, like I said, so you talk about no Marcus Smart, you talk about no Al Horford, and ultimately, immediately, not even ultimately, immediately, you realize that you're talking about two of the more physical individuals for the Boston Celtics. Right? Marcus Smart is definitely considered their heart. I don't know if you want to consider him their enforcer, but he definitely enforces his will. Right? His presence on defense. Folks, you got the Golden State Warriors game in the background, folks. That game is currently 28-18, and we're going to keep you guys up to date. People are wondering what the hell they're going to do with Joey. What they're going to do with Luka. And so I was telling people it's real simple. You put Draymond Green on Luka. Like, if Draymond Green can and is responsible for the assignment of guarding Jokic, that means he's going to be responsible for guarding Luka as well.
That's not true, bro.
What?
Going on?
What?
I try to say nothing, but that's not true.
What did I do?
Get out of here. Try to guard. He can't guard Jokic. That's number one. He can't guard nobody bigger than him that's viable and offensively. Luka definitely don't eat his ass up. Who guards him? Wiggins is the one who guards him. But Draymond can't guard Luka. So you probably throw a couple of different people at him. You double team him, but the primary defender should be Wiggins. That should be Wiggins. Because he's a better perimeter defender. He's probably their best perimeter defender on that team. Not Draymond. Draymond is just like a smart utility guy. You know, he can't. Yeah, Luka would eat his ass. Come on, bro. You see how Luka been doing to everybody else? He eat Draymond answer. That's my opinion.
Listen, it's a possibility. Luka's one of those guys who is hard to stop, right? I'm not saying he's going to stop him. I'm just saying he's going to guard him. And that's going to be the primary guy that's going to pull on him. And that's going to be the guy that they use, because you're going to need some of his size. You're going to need some of Draymond Green's size. But you know what you sounded like, right, a while ago? Right? You sounded a little triggered. You sounded like...
But what did I just say though?
I'm just letting you know how NBA players feel.
I believe you, but what I'm saying is.
But that's the game to a point where
We gonna stop that there. But you sounded like Patrick Beverly when he was talking about Chris Paul. Like, you sounded like I triggered you a while ago. It was like, man, I was gonna let you keep talking about. Man, ain't nobody worry about Draymond Green. Well, being guarded by Draymond Green. People gonna cook his ass. Yo, we gonna talk about rap Bev a little bit later. It's so crazy that rap keeps managing to eat up airtime. But we gonna get into that. But I'm not even ready to talk Golden State and Dallas yet. But we gonna give them a little bit and slide in here every once in a while and slide back out. And like we gonna treat this Dallas and Golden State game real good tonight. Let's see, we see a brick over there, and then here goes another 3-point pick by Reggie Bullock. See, Reggie Bullock is just cold. Reggie Bullock normally makes that. So Reggie Bullock is one of those guys, right? Reggie Bullock has a lot of John Starks in him, if you know what I mean, right? Where when he's hot, and like, or when he hits like one of those first 2 shots, then he could go off for 8 3-pointers. That's Reggie Bullock. If he misses those first 2 shots, he may have one of those 3 for 11 nights. That's him. And it looks like Reggie Bullock is starting off on one of those 3 for 11 kind of nights. Second quarter has started. The game is 28-18. Golden State is up by 10. You see Golden State with their ball movement. They get Wiggins inside on a ball cut. Is that Wiggins? No, nothing like Looney. Looney inside on a ball cut. Obviously, Looney isn't used to playing basketball anymore, so he travels. Oh, God. But he didn't travel, though. Yeah, the referee jerked him on that one. He didn't travel at all on that play. So, with Boston and Milwaukee. Boston and Miami. Wrong answer. Hearing that Marcus Smart and Al Horford was going to be out, automatically you realize that there's going to be a physicality to the game that Boston may not be able to match. And I think that's exactly what we saw. Now for Miami, they had no Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry doesn't move the needle to me. Just to let you know. Like I don't know what Kyle Lowry means when it comes to wins over replacements. Like, what's his war? Like seriously. So Kyle Lowry does not move the needle to me whatsoever. But those are the 3 individuals that's not there. There's reasons why Miami could use a guy like Kyle Lowry in this game. And obviously, there's a hell of a reason why Boston would need Marcus Smart and Al Horford. Marcus Smart is their primary point guard, one of their primary perimeter guards, as well as their emotional leader for the team. And we've seen Al Horford be unlocked ever since Giannis mean mugged him. He took that personally. Like, yo, somebody from Greece is gonna mean mug me. I'm from the DR, pimpin'. You don't do that. No. Oh, I don't know what he said to me, but what he said, I don't like it. Fuck that guy. What's going on? We see we gotta get you guys on this podcast. Just let you know. We definitely do. We gotta get you on the podcast. So now there's no Al Horford. There's no Marcus Smart. And Boston actually started off this game pretty damn hot. Like they came out on fire to begin, right? You saw Jason Tatum going into his bag early, right? And not only going into his bag early, you saw Jason Tatum. Best word to say, I guess to say, force the issue early. Right? As the ball, as he took a lot of that primary ball handling job now that Marcus Smart wasn't there. Or you see him getting the ball a lot earlier too, and he's the one that's initiating the offense. Now that there's no Marcus Smart. And it worked early. It worked early, and Boston came out and Boston came over a nice little lead. At halftime, if I'm not mistaken, Boston was about 13 points.
Nobody cares what you say.
Or maybe just 8.
I hate to break it to you.
But at one point in the time of that half, in the first half, Boston was up by 13. And even early in the game, right? Because when I said that Boston came out hot early, they came out hot. I think they were up like 8-2 early or something like that. And I'm at the bar, and I'm at the bar for one specific reason alone. That's to gauge the energy of people. And as I'm there gauging energy of people, you hear the sighs starting to occur already, right? You hear the and the frustration already starting to occur. And we're 6 minutes into the first quarter. The same behavior from the fans is continuing all the way through the first quarter. And I'm reminding fans, and like I said, I'm not a Heat fan, I'm not a Celtics fan. I despise both of these. I despise both of these teams. I respect the Miami Heat a little bit more than I respect them. I don't even respect the Boston Celtics. So I respect them a lot more than I respect Boston. But I have a little bit of respect for the Miami Heat.
Nope, come here.
Let's see, you see Jordan Poole coming for the lane. He gets a little Euro step, gets it there, gets a layup. Easy bucket. Easy bucket. 32-22. Golden State Warriors still up by 10.
Come on. Dad, get the ball.
I keep forgetting we have Otto Porter on this team. Like, people forget about Otto Porter. Like, if you get anything out of Otto Porter in a series, then you're just stealing points. Because nobody accounts for him. Now, Otto Porter actually had a good reputation at one point in time. So back to Boston and Miami. So Boston came out early. They came out early. They came out motivated early, and they did what they were kind of supposed to do, and that was trying to jump on Miami early to see if they can still win in Miami, right? So they can still win on the road. But as I was telling Heat fans, and a lot of, like, even my boy that DJs, you know what I mean? And I'm telling all the Heat fans, like, relax. You see, the way that Heat fans were told, it's like, listen, their team needs to wake up. And if they continue to play this way, then they're going to lose this game. And they were right. But it was also too early to give up. And that's kind of what I was trying to get over to them, right? Was that it was too early for you to be worried. We know basketball is a long game, and basketball is a game of runs. And from what I'm seeing so far, right, maybe kind of what I'm seeing similarly over here to Dallas, where it's not like they're not getting their shots. It's just that some things aren't falling early for them. But they're definitely getting their shots, and they were being, it looked like they were being physical enough to get to where they wanted to.
I'm totally kidding.
But obviously at the half, they went into the locker room. Eric Spoelstra cursed them out. He whispered some words in Udonis Haslem's ear. Udonis Haslem threatened to fuck everybody up, as well as cuss them out. Well, he fucked somebody up, cuss them out, right? He threatened to Oakley everybody. He was like, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. I'm gonna treat you guys like Chris Rock over there.
You're a target. Yeah. Everybody is really target.
Right here, bud.
And the Heat came out in that third quarter, and they outscored Boston 14-39. I'll say it again.
You're an asshole.
The Miami Heat outscored Boston 39-40. That's more than like 25 points in the third quarter. And this has been a theme for the Miami in the third quarter since for Miami Heat in the third quarter of its whole entire playoffs. But they cooked them, they roasted them, they showed them they are complete heatish. We saw Jimmy Butler continue to go off in this game. Continue to get to the line, get physical, drive to the post, drive to the lane, pump fake, spin move, pivot, hook, fade away, pump fake, straight up, foul shot, straight up, dunk. You just saw Jimmy Butler play an old school fashion of game, like a form of bully ball in a way. And this is why I used to tell you guys, right? While there's all levels to it, you have to understand that there's levels and there's tiers to it. But there's a DNA that some people share. And I've said this for a while, that the kind of game that they have, that Jimmy Butler has the same DNA as LeBron James. So does Luka.
I've never seen anybody know me.
I just knew that wasn't. He wasn't even watching me. He was going to get it. Also, I had said Lance Stevenson by the way they play. Right? Like guys like that, they have the same kind of makeup, right? They do it at different levels, but if you look at it, it's basically the same kind of game. And when you're right, it's the same stat line, and all you need is multipliers is to be able to figure out, okay, what's this person gonna have? While Lance Stevenson may get you 6-3 and 3, LeBron gets you to 18, 9 and 9, and Jimmy is getting you 12, 6 and 6. And this is just showing the proportions. So you guys understand what I'm trying to say.
So, Mike, yeah, quick question.
Yo, did Draymond and Steph both block somebody's jump shot? Is that what I just saw? 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Jordan Poole is playing point guard with the ball. Is Steph on the court? Okay, now that's Clay. That's Dre. That's Drew. And that's not Steph either. That's Lee. Damn. Was Lee out for this? Because I don't remember seeing a lot of Lee in the first couple of series that the Golden State Warriors played. Damn, we forgot all about Lee. Ooh, that sounds nice. Save it. Save the next one for the next podcast.
I save it for next. Hey, who's guarding Luka now? Kuminga might come off. You got Kuminga and one of the bench that might come off and try to guard some Luka. They probably gonna listen. People out of who they guarding him so far?
I haven't paid attention so far. I haven't been able to to lock in to see who's guarding him so far. Even right now, as I'm looking, I think it's Dinwiddie taking. No, that's not Dinwiddie. That's Brunson taking the ball up.
Somebody scratched him in the face though. I just seen a post about him getting scratched in the face.
So listen, I'm not saying. Obviously, we know that, especially in this series, and there's going to be a major difference between this series and the series with Jokic. It's going to be the amount of different players they're able to throw at this particular defender. Because when it comes to Luka, why I say that they're going to throw Draymond on him, right? They're probably going to throw Draymond on him when it matters, right? Or at certain times, or even to begin just to start wearing him down or to throw him off of his pace. But it's going to be everybody. We're going to see Kuminga on him. We're going to see some Wiggins on him. We're going to see what's the guy I just mentioned earlier? We're gonna probably see some Lee on him. I don't know how much Lee outweighs him, outsizes him. But if Andre Iguodala gets any burn, this would be the perfect time that Andre Iguodala starts to get some burn, right? You get him on him, and Otto Porter, whatever his name is, right? They'll put him on him. So they're gonna throw every single body at Luka that they have at all given times. They ain't gonna play games with him. This isn't gonna be Draymond guard Luka for 38 minutes. No. That's not. I hope that did not give off that intention. But he probably will guard him for 22, and the other 22 probably guard him for 24 or whatever it is, and the other 24 is split between 6 other defenders.
Bro, you right there. All you gotta do is watch him guard him. What's going on?
I was with my son.
Let's see. As we look right now, Brunson still has the ball. Has the ball in his hand. Let's see. I don't see. Oh, there goes 77. I see him. So it looks like Golden State Warriors are politicking about that foul. Let's see, Jalen Brunson comes with a spin move, takes it to the body of Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole swipes down, he misses him, and then he gets the foul. And it looks like Draymond is the one that is taking the defense. It looks like Draymond is taking the defensive responsibility to go look right now. Look at this, how they have them matched up on the court. Right when they're off ball, as of right now, it so far looks like Draymond.
So Mikey gave away his German Shepherd to a show. Just lost his
I'm going to enjoy, regardless of how many games it goes, I'm going to enjoy both of these series, this Dallas and Golden State series, and also that Miami and Boston series. And I ain't gonna lie, there's a small part of me that is actually kind of happy for my Heat fans that they get to get an Eastern Conference championship that's coming through down here. So that they can get some of that energy. So for and let's go ahead and ask one of our questions of the day for everybody that's in the audience. For anybody that has not heard this as of yet, right? We have a question for our audience members. When it comes to, have you been here for this question yet? When it comes to booties, do you like them real or do you like them fake?
Fucking violent.
Which do you prefer? Fur real booty. Okay, that's another vote for the real.
I like the BBL, not the injection.
That's what was actually
I'm telling you,
the podcast.
I tried to warn you.
That's exactly what we was saying.
Tried to warn you, man. That thing's
Like my baby mama, she got a BBL.
Hey,
And then I know
Scott
girls,
Snyder?
women who got
So
injections.
one night I had her out there.
They're like a little harder.
And he walks out the door. And bro, when I tell you, grab
Yeah, I know, yeah, because I know something. I have a couple. I have a couple of those. Yeah, they take a little on the stomach, take a little bit of the arm back.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then dump it right in the ass and just firm everything up.
That's nice.
No, it is. Nothing with all. No, we're not talking about those. We're not talking about those. We're not talking about those. We're talking about those capital letter P's.
When I look like the ant slider.
Yo.
You seen that movie? Ant slider.
Oh, shit. Look like a pest dispenser.
Nah, I don't like that.
We ain't talking about. We ain't just talking about like simple transference of a. You know what I mean?
That's just more. I think it's more expensive when you get it like that.
Is it? Well, there is. I guess the way it comes. I do remember, like two of my homegirls got theirs almost at the same time, and I went out to go eat with them. Probably like a week or so after they got it done. I'm an asshole.
They got the little pillow. They said the little pillow.
And they couldn't really hug me.
Yeah.
I squished the shit out of them. I squished the shit out of them. But
Motorboated.
listen, I can't tell you what happens in public.
no, you did not. I give it to you.
Exactly. Because it's a hell of a motorboat that they have. I don't want to get that's why I'm not name calling. I don't want to get either one of them in trouble. Both of them are booed up right now. Both of them are fully booed up. I mean, and both of their boos know how crazy I am too, but they're both fully booed up. So, my question of the day, I don't know if you heard, when it comes to booties, do you like them real, or do you prefer them real, or do you prefer them fake?
The thing is now, like, they're 5 to 6.
I got fake booty when I was 7.
Who were you dry humping at? What wasn't funny was what Jimmy Butler did to those goddamn boys. Like we have that.
He said 7? God damn, you can't say that on the radio.
Listen, you know what's crazy? You know what? Listen, I don't know if you heard Chill though. I shared a similar story of something that happened to me when I was 7 from one of my babysitters. Like it just what happened back then. Like I don't know if it was a Brooklyn thing or it was something that was an 80s thing. It just kind of happened. Like you can't talk about like that now, ain't natural now. But you know, like shit, it's kind of happened. You know, boys get taken advantage of by their female babies.
Going on? Let me share my stories of pedophilia when I was
What? No, that's not. Whoa! What? Nobody said that. Whoa, pause. Big pause. Hold on, do I have to bring up the big pause for that? No.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody said that. Nobody. Okay. You know what?
What are we talking about?
We just took a left turn on Albuquerque, and we need to come back. Like I don't know how you have up
That's
there.
what I thought. That's what I was. Now you see where I'm at. That's where my brain was at. Like, what are we talking about?
He
7 years old.
He said something happened to him at 7. What? That's what I was saying.
You like the babysitter?
Something happened to me at 7. Yeah, from one of my babysitters.
Oh gosh, this is way deeper. I thought it was on.
You know, it's so funny because the moment that he's end up saying that, I really just end up sharing that story like early on the podcast.
That's funny because guys don't look like that. They're like, oh yeah, pervert. Guys are pervert. Yeah, man. 7, I would love to do my teacher at 7.
Look at it the same way. That's horrible.
It is true. I'm 7 years
It doesn't
old.
affect us in that same way. Like,
Listen,
yeah,
I'm not gonna
awesome.
lie.
I was 10 years old and I scored at 10. I was so proud of myself.
Listen, at 7 years old, I was in the hallway smacking girls' asses. I've always been super sexual active. It's like I'm talking about, like, you know when you have to be the door monitor, right? And you have to hold the door for your whole entire class. Well, the only reason I used to volunteer to be the door monitor was so I could grab ass when they were walking by. Well, I grabbed the wrong ass one time, and some girl scratched the shit out of me. Left like 2 big ass, like fucking like big marks in my side of my face. I was leaking half the day. It was deep as fuck. And then 3 weeks later, she became my girlfriend. Ain't that how it worked back then? Like the girl that ends up slapping you is the girl that ends up dating you 3 weeks later?
I guess.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Like I'm just like things just. I'm telling you, like I don't know if it was just like the time that we grew up in, or if it was the place that we grew up in. But in the 80s, I feel like shit was still the Wild Wild West. Like we were trying to become civilized, but there was still a lot of Wild Wild West shit going on. Like there was a lot of places where it was just
what's Pepe Le Pew? Like kind of like Pepe Le Pew.
Oh yes. Like I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie because I have joked about this for years, right, with Natalie. You guys know Natalie, the resident yoga instructor for the MyT Sports Podcast. Who's just moved back down to Florida, so I'll be able to get some in-person lessons again finally and get her on the podcast as well. We'll probably even do a podcast from her studio one of these days. I used to joke with Natalie all the time that, and this is kind of even before cancel coach now. I am really surprised that Pepe Le Pew has lasted this long in the game. Like it's like he went underneath everybody's radar forever. Forever. And Pepe Le Pew and remember that Dave Chappelle joke? Remember? And he was like, he became an adult, and then suddenly he was watching Pepe Le Pew. He put on Looney Tunes and had his nephew watching Pepe Le Pew, put on cartoons and had his nephew watching Looney Tunes. And then Pepe Le Pew came on, and he saw Pepe Le Pew, and Pepe Le Pew was over there. This gentleman was like, hey, come here, girl, come here. I'm gonna get you. And he's like, see? Sometimes you gotta take the person like Pepe. He's like, whoa, no, that's not what it means. So I remember hearing that joke, and I don't know, if that's your first time hearing that joke, go listen to that Dave Chappelle comedy special. Like, it's a hell of a comedy special. It's one of his early ones, alright? I remember hearing this joke, and like, that was his comedy special. I was in Germany, so this is like 2001, 2002. When I remember hearing this, and it damn near took 20 years even after that.
Joe, not that, because he's got all that shit out there. Hey, bring your fucking goddamn dog call.
It even took like 20 years after that for even Pepe Le Pew to even get on everybody's radar. Like it wasn't even in the height of cancel culture that Pepe Le Pew got caught. Pepe Le Pew got caught once he started coming down a little bit, and they were still looking for people to start picking off and figures to start correcting. And they were like, hey, what about Pepe? Like, Pepe still out there? Like, yeah, we still got Pepe. How the fuck we forget about Pepe? I don't know. We were too busy going for Aunt Mama. Yeah, it's fucking left Pepe out there. Pepe's still out there taking the pussy. You guys remember Pepe Le Pew? Who remembers Pepe Le Pew from Looney Tunes?
Pepe Le Pew?
You guys remember Pepe Le Pew? Pepe Le Pew used to hop around just taking pussy left and right.
Hey Joe, what was the best Pepe Le Pew saying?
I don't know if did Pepe Le Pew even have a saying?
Oh, Pepe, he had a lot of saying. Oh, Champagne.
Come here, girl, let me give you this steak. That was the voiceover version that we had in Brooklyn. Come here, girl, let me give you this steak.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, on your podcast, you would say,
excellent.
Oh, shit. What do you see?
No. You can't use all your jokes in one podcast.
Okay.
This is why I'm telling you.
I got a lot of jokes.
I know, but listen, they go by fast. You don't understand.
Everybody's dying to know what they want.
You guys want to know, don't you? I know it is, right?
Pillsbury Doughboy, Benzo, what do you see?
Chill, Will.
Don't know.
Hold on, listen. Give me another one next time. Give me all of them this week. I'm gonna be here for years.
Okay.
Stop it. No.
Oh, can I say Asian couple? Having sex.
Is that, I don't know what the political correct, I don't know if that's
Okay, Asian couple having sex and his wife says, I want 69. And the wife goes, why you want beef broth? No, 69.
No, you guys have to stop tapering off every punchline of your jokes, okay?
Jeff. By the way, my name is Jeff.
That's Joe. Who are you saying?
Yeah, they don't know goddamn. So, Jimmy Butler treated prototype Boston Celtics like they were fish walking. They went up there and they smacked them. He got 41 points, 9 assists, was it? 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. He even dropped a couple of blocks as well. And I think that one of those blocks even surprised him because he got a block on Jason Tatum. And that was the one that surprised me the most because Jason Tatum is one of those few people that is able to get a block on somebody that nobody can block. In fact, not a lot of people can block. Jason Tatum blocks Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant is only known to be blocked by 3 people. Jason Tatum, Mitchell Robinson from the Knicks, the 7'1" center, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. The only 3 people to hit a block hit. So the fact that Tatum got blocked by Jimmy, let's been over 2 things. Jimmy hustled his ass off on that play, but also you saw that Tatum had a low order release on that, and that was good scouting and good timing. So even I was like, yeah, how the fuck did that block? And you look at it like, yeah, Jason Tatum made himself small on that shot. Like, he didn't make himself tall. He didn't release that at the top of his jump. So he allowed Jimmy to get in there and be a bigger man than him on that jump shot. But that's also a bigger man in stature and a bigger man in effort. They came out there and they bust that ass. Now, you guys know me, right? And I don't like to overreact after one game. Right? I really don't. I don't like to overreact after one game, regardless of how bad or how the way things are looking. Like I said, there were a couple of things that did not happen in this game. What did not happen was they did not have Marcus Smart. They did not have Al Horford. Not having those 2 individuals, right, for a team like Boston, especially Marcus Smart, matters. When you're talking about a team that is up by double digits for the first half of this game, and then they lose the second half of the game, not just because of adjustments from their coach, we're going to talk about the hell of a coach that Eric Spoelstra is, right? But not just because of the adjustments that's made by their coach, but just because you got out-bullied while you're resident bullier or bully stopper, or you know what I mean, or bully neutralizer was on the bench or in street clothes watching you guys play. Actually gives you something to look forward to. Not just for next game, right? Because next game may not matter still. This is something that we're looking forward to, possibly game 3 and game 4. I told you, playoffs are just built in a way that I don't like to get too overreacted after the first 2 games. The playoffs are built for teams to go on runs and mini winning streaks. As you know, like the reason why I set up in the 2-2-1-1 format. A lot of teams win their games at home. That's the reason why there's the old saying out there that goes that the player doesn't begin until a road team wins. And even sometimes that is because some games just go back and forth.
I mean, I will, but it's going to be like a single thing.
Now, he's gonna have to start calling him BBC Jimmy, right? And the reason I'm calling him BBC, that's the big baller called Jimmy. That's exactly what he is. He is the big baller called Jimmy. And Jimmy likes to bang. And that's how you go to the free throw line 18 times. Jimmy, like, he bangs. like Jimmy likes to bang. But you know what though? It's the one that doesn't like bang. He knows what's the winning formula. Or what the formula is to win, or what the winning formula is to win playoff games. Like, he understands that. He understands that there's a level of physicality that's needed. He understands that you need to get it. He understands you need to put people in foul trouble. Now, again, I'm not gonna go too far on the side for sorry Miami Heat fans. Like, this is not hate, right? Like, if you've heard me all season, right, especially all postseason, and you realize this is just me. Oh, that's right, I can't do that. You're forgetting. It keeps popping up in my mind. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, no, can't do that. I'm gonna try something different soon one of these days. What's the score looking like? 54-45, 4 minutes left to go, and 4 seconds left to go in the first half. So yeah, Heat fans, it's not hate. It's my philosophy. It's my belief. It's my name. When it comes to the playoffs, right? It's my ninja way. And that is to not overreact for the first of the playoffs, especially when those first 2 games are won by the home team.
You were at the Last Supper.
Now, maybe by game 3, I'm a little bit late to the party. But by game 3,
did you know class
more
was
of an indication of how this thing is going to go. Blowouts in the first 2 games. And then as soon as we switch home court advantage, or we switch home courts, those teams that were blown to some of their players look like they forgot how to play. We're seeing evidence of that right now when it comes to Reggie Bullock with the Dallas Mavericks. It's guys like that they may play better at home, but now they're in Golden State.
Bounce it anywhere you want this way. What is this? Don't bounce it that way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I'm not sure that I want to do it again.
So, the Miami Heat come in the third quarter. They go on like a ridiculous 20-2 run.
Yeah, I guess.
The Boston Celtics, they shoot 2 for 15 in the third. Then 1 for 7 for 3 pointers, and the turnovers are ridiculous. But again, they don't want to snap. Again, they're in Miami. And also, it's Miami, right? And we do know that Miami always adds a couple of obstacles when it comes to visiting players. And if you're not used to playing in this, then it can take its toll on you. One is the weather, right? You know, when you're in the arena, but you may have been out all day, out all night, you know what I mean? Some of that weather starts to get to you. You got to Miami early. You spent the extra day there so you can really enjoy your time in Miami. Maybe you went out during the day and some of that sun got to you and it kind of drained you. That's one possibility. We also know that Miami is also infamous for 2 other things. That's La Playa's and pool ties. And during the summertime, the pool ties that are out during the summertime, like there's a reason why Stephen A. Smith loves South Beach. We're gonna talk about that show a little bit later. They've been on one. Yeah, they're really going to milk the shit out of somebody while they can as he continues to drop ridiculously hot take after ridiculous hot take. So the second half was basically adjustment period for Miami. And one of the great coaches in the game, Coach, he comes out and he orchestrates a game plan that makes Boston go 2 for 15 in the third quarter. Gives Miami Heat that 20-2 run. That eventually will be the run to help them win the game. Jimmy Butler alone, 18 free throws. 18 free throws alone.
No, if you got the ass of a 12-year-old boy.
Ken, flat in front.
Hey, yo.
Go ahead, Ken.
Guess what, Nick?
Flat in front.
I
I'm gonna start calling you Ken.
With the blaze, orange,
I wonder about Eric's culture, right? And what I wonder about Eric's culture is, I know that most people think that he's a good coach. I even will go as far to say that a lot of people think that Eric's coach is a great coach, a hell of a coach. What I'm curious about is he the best coach in the game today? He probably because there's not a lot of competition for him, right? There's great competition for Steve Kerr and Doc Rivers. Is he the best coach in the game today? In the game today? And what would it do for his coaching legacy?
No.
If he wins a championship with
Bro, what did I say,
Jimmy
bro?
Butler?
Hey guys, welcome back. Do you prefer your asses real or fake? Do you prefer your asses real or fake? Ass. Yes. Real? Okay. We got another one for the real. So far, nobody has preferred a fake ass. Everybody has voted for. Oh, sorry, we got one fake ass vote. You can't get both. You gotta prefer one.
She's actually very fucking intelligent.
Which one would you want on your face?
Well, she's also dragging her leash.
I don't want her to
And
get
there's Ben over there. She stops herself. That, that's like one of the most intelligent fucking things I've ever run into. She's only 5 months.
Why it has to go on your face?
She'll double that size in the next 2 months.
Alright. So if you're working the jiggly class.
No, she's a Belgian Malinois.
If you're going for like those like
They use them, they're like military dogs. They're military dogs, not dogs.
Oh, look, I got a new name. Probably the
She just doesn't want to be pet by
BBL.
nobody. That's why I have the best on her.
Is what they call it?
She'll play with everybody.
So I already know. Even twice, even right.
And you got glasses on. So that's fucked up.
But like, no.
Just read it and you got the glasses on. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
still gonna read that.
Goddamn text messages of this fucking big purple.
So, back to the other question. What will happen with Eric Spoelstra's legacy? What kind of jump will his legacy receive?
She's awesome, man.
His next championship run.
She's very
It's not with Hall of Famer Shaq, Hall of Famer Larry Bird, Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade. Not with Hall of Famer Bill Wade, Hall of Famer Chris Bosh, Hall of Famer LeBron
That's
James,
exactly how I feel. So,
Hall of Famer Lee Allen, Hall of Famer Shane
mile
Batman.
down the road and she's gonna bring it right back. She's like, oh, these guys, oh, my turn. It's a little.
In his heyday, he could throw the ball mile down.
That is just fucking ridiculously long. Holy crap. We're gonna do an exercise on that one day and just let you know it is long. But he doesn't do it with any of those guys. He does it with somebody that people don't even know if he's a superstar or not. Jimmy Butler. And a budding star.
Yeah, those are shit out of that thing.
A budding another budding two-way star in Bam Adebayo.
You ran
And a
50 yards,
two
sprint
player
back,
in
you be
Tyler
slobbering
Hero.
too. Who you get?
That's
Boy,
the squad.
boy, it's a tough crowd.
Those are the names. Those are the people in the game that you know.
Just bounce it straight to the hot row.
Oh, PJ Tucker. Kyle Lowry. Like those are the players in this game. If he takes those guys and win a championship, does that catapult him? If he's not above Steve Kerr now, in your eyes, does that catapult him above Steve Kerr? I think most people think that Eric Spoelstra is better than Doc Rivers.
So I'm gonna say that he's already catapulted him over Doc. But if he's not catapulted over Doc Rivers in your eyes, does that catapult him over Doc?
The Beach Boys song.
That catapulted him over Greg Popovich. Like, that's the question, right? If he takes these guys again to another championship, but this time wins it, where do we start now to put Eric Spoelstra in the place of historic coaches? And I say we start to put him because he has a lot more. He's going to get a massive jump if he wins that championship. We're going to have to start. We're going to place him somewhere, and you have to realize wherever we place him, he can still go up from it. He can still get better. He can get more clout. You understand? It's not just keeping everybody focused. All the different personalities he's had to keep focused this whole entire time, right? It's where he's also had to do it at. In a place that is riddled with distractions. We told you there's two major distractions in the world, and that's in Southway. That is players and putas.
Are you doing the women's rodeo championship over here on your sports podcast?
No, we're not at all.
I was just wondering. I didn't even know that if you were following the women's rodeo championship.
I didn't even know women were behind me riding bulls.
Yeah. Hey. There's a website for that. There's more than one.
Be careful.
Emotional damage.
Be careful of that one.
They don't deal with this thing.
Somebody go find Richie for me to ask him if he's ready to come join the show. So that's my question about Spoelstra, right? You're gonna, if he wins a championship, you're gonna impact him somewhere. Where is that place? And then realize that he still has room to go up when it comes to historical coaching.
Everybody that said that,
This would make his what? He has one with Shaq and Wade and two with three. Steve Kerr right now currently has 3. 4. How many does Steve Kerr has as a coach? Because we know he has a ton as a player. It was 1 with Kevin, and so it was 3. So, yeah. And granted, they both did it with superstar teams, right? Ridiculous teams. But now when you get that one, now you have one over Steve Kerr. You'll also have one over him with players that aren't considered Hall of Famers already 9 years into their career. Or just future Hall of Famers, period.
if she's not, then she'll just stay home.
By the time he
I
got
mean,
it.
she's great around the kids. My girl, she's very cuddly.
So as we're speaking about that, right, with the Miami Heat, right?
She's good. She's great.
I did hear
Like,
an
the whole
interesting
family can
question. question earlier today, right?
Let's ask her back.
And I wanted to pose this question as well to the podcast listeners.
You know,
That makes sense.
Right. So how many people are Heat fans out there?
she just don't want to be fat.
Any Heat fans? Any Heat fans? No Heat fans? Fans get cold out there. That's crazy.
I don't know. But she's not really.
But she doesn't seem like it to be done.
But I wonder,
I don't actually know.
when it comes to cultures, right? When it comes to environments, and I did hear this recently, so I can't take credit for this question, but I had to bring it forward, and I wanted to answer it on goddamn
to
self.
100 pounds or somehow. About 40.
So Chill Will,
And he was mixed with something.
would you prefer
He was mixed with something. He might
Heat
have looked full
culture?
German, but he was mixed with something.
Or the Patriots
Regular
way?
German Shepherds are around 100 pounds. Anyhow.
That was the question that I heard. I want you guys to answer that too if you're listening, right? Go ahead and start responding, and we'll go ahead and we'll pull that up.
Delivered clothes. And I don't know why.
Would you prefer Heat culture, or being part of Heat culture, or being part of the Patriot way?
Every time I'm driving this goddamn truck.
And
Drop it.
I'm not gonna lie,
Drop it.
I do hate both franchises. Let me try to add that in. and I didn't even hesitate to even think about it, that I would take heat culture over the Patriot way. And there are many things that go into the decision, right? Location is definitely one of them, right? Let's not act like if I'm gonna force to be in a structured environment and play my best in a championship championship franchise, right? And given all things are technically easy that I'm gonna get at the end result, I would prefer the place with the better temperature. But that is not the only reason I would take heat culture over the Patriot way. That the heat culture doesn't snuff out your personality, right? You're a hard worker with the heat culture, but you're not a robot. And with the Patriot way, it's just a little too stiff. It's a little.
Joe!
Sheen's Abernacle.
Joe! You're paying for this shit then, Joe. I'm not going to give my shit. You're paying for it. Because that's like 9 times I've told you. So, old man.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I'll give you all my shit if I have to. Because I got everything at home, bro. I got the lights. I got all of that.
I appreciate you. I appreciate
But
you trying.
I'd rather not happen again.
Thank you.
I'd rather not have to give you all this shit. Yeah, you were, motherfucker. I'm trying.
Yeah, if I had to pick between the heat culture and the Patriot way, I think I'm gonna go with the heat culture. I said like just based off the fact that your personality still is able to stay intact. And we've seen
You
that.
shot him with
It's almost as if
You shot him with ammonia water.
and that's the NBA.
I know, I heard your whole story.
It may be a little less heat culture and maybe just NBA, but if you were to compare Greg Popovich's culture to Bill Belichick, I think I think that you would probably think that, right? You would probably assume that those are kind of like this similar, right? With the way they want players to go about their day-to-day activity, their day-to-day life. You don't really get that from Miami Heat. Miami Heat is all about working hard. Miami Heat definitely will weigh you. They definitely will test your body fat percentage to make sure it's lower than anybody else's in the league. You know what I mean? They want everybody's card. You will work hard. You're going to be held accountable in those methods. But they still allow your personality to show. Shaq, big personality, still was able to show. Right? You got Wayne Wade here, whatever personality he did have, right? It didn't, like, he said it wasn't snuffed out. You saw Jimmy Butler come down here with his personality. He was able to shine. We got big face Jimmy Coffey, and also his plethora you understand, like, Jimmy Butler is tallying up. So he's putting, like, not only is he putting numbers up in the game, he's also putting up Wilt Chamberlain like numbers off the court down here. He has been having a smorgasbord. And
So I went through the 2015
Told you were in charge.
sandpaper.
it is a very real thing that he is swinging Jimmy in South. It's like it really is. That boy's doing his thing. So
$450 for a day's worth.
yeah, and then also even more important, you see guys like Tyler Hero, right? Udonis Haslem, right? You see them allow your individual personality to shine as long as you are constantly taking care of your portion of the deal, right? Your side of the contract that you signed, and that is to be in your best shape and to also be who you are. And they're not going to take anything less. Like they talk about different franchises, different cultures, and things like that, and who would fit in certain places. Like I don't think that a guy like Kyrie would fit in Miami. Like he would love it down here, but I don't think that he would fit in.
Actually named after? I think it's like the 7 days of mourning.
That actually is a good question. Kyrie would been fitting in Miami.
I know, but I think of the 7 days of mourning. Like I'm just gonna kill someone.
That's what I'm gonna have. No, I'm not gonna let that one. I'm not gonna let that one veer out now. I'm sorry. I was gonna sleep on that one and come back another day. I can't let that one escape me.
No, I know, but I don't.
With Kyrie,
that's why I kind of went like this way.
Not Kyrie, yeah, Kyrie function in Miami. Is his personality too much? Okay. I don't think it's a okay. So I realize I've come to my conclusion, and still no. And I realize the 2 points that I'm battling against with myself. That it's not going to be because of his personality, right?
Josh, don't keep me up.
I don't want to be that yet. As long as you're doing your business on and off the court, they'll allow that personality to shine. They allow you to be.
And technically, y'all just made out because that ball.
It's now being dictated to, right? Being told that you have to make sure that we're going to practice a certain way, that we're going to train a certain way, we're going to work out a certain way, we're going to nutrition a certain way, we're going to body fat percentage down to a certain percent.
You just told her to without even knowing it.
Nuanced things that Kyrie Irving would have a hard time.
She's like, now fucking play with me, dickhead. I already did.
On a continuous basis.
Because she doesn't want to play with me right now. She plays with me all the time, so she's enjoying playing with me. And I'm not going to say no because I want her to play with me.
Right, and you know what? As we're talking about Kyrie, let's go ahead and bring Kyrie in. Right? I was going to talk about Kyrie today.
I need to be good.
Kyrie's been doing a lot of talking lately. A lot of talking lately. And it's almost as if he is finally going on platforms and now defending his actions from this past season or 2 or 3 or even 4. Right? We've heard Kyrie Irving recently go back and talk to him about as far as his Cleveland.
So she's never really alone. She's always got
as early as being drafted, post LeBron, pre-LeBron, during LeBron.
Kids, her kid, like.
But that's what the gaming platforms is also talking. Kyrie Irving has also been talking on gaming platforms. And it's these sports. See, like Kyrie Irving, I gotta find out what Kyrie Irving's sign is. Right? Because
where did it go? Where did it go?
It really is times where Kyrie Irving is a hell of a listener. And then there's times when you listen to him and you think that, okay, he thinks that he's better than everybody by the knowledge that he is now seeking and the path of enlightenment that he is now choosing to go down. Gotta take a moment to breathe.
Right.
Alright, that's always
giggling. I mean, like, ha ha ha.
So,
whether I'm high or not.
it always feels like he's always talking down to people, right? While also, at the same time, when he talks, he tries to sound like he's trying to not just uplift himself, but through his actions, uplift others. But then, when the camera's on, and it looks like nobody is paying attention, he's playing video games, and he's calling everybody roaches and peons and things like this, and that's when that's the part of Kyrie that you look at like,
don't worry about shit I like.
Like who? You understand? Like he's downplaying everybody that
it's not. It's
isn't
a harness.
Which
no, it's a harness.
Isn't
it's not around her neck.
Either. Like,
it's not. Like she's not gonna get hurt. She'll be okay.
You don't receive your blessing.
But I appreciate that.
Under that kind of negativity. Right?
But I appreciate that.
But then you hear him talk again.
She's fucking.
And you do realize there's a level of insightfulness.
Lick my hand or anything like that.
But it's that same level of insightfulness that sometimes makes him believe that he's more insightful than others, right? Or too insightful to have a regular conversation.
She looked at me and she asked me one question.
Now, I heard him recently talking And
Okay, so I have a
he brings up
standing rule.
the Boston time, the LeBron time, and I've talked about this for years, right? That too often the story of Kyrie isn't told from Kyrie's point of view. The story of Kyrie is always told from the LeBron James point of view. He's always spoken in layers in how does this affect LeBron? How is this best for LeBron? How did this help LeBron? Right? And it's for, and believe it or not, for Kyrie's even unbeknownst to Kyrie sometimes, right? Kyrie's story being told strictly from the LeBron point of view. Sometimes, while it also hurts him, a lot of times, and it doesn't give him some credit where he deserves, it also overlooks a lot of his deficiencies. Like his leadership abilities, his winning capabilities. Nobody's ever questioned his ability to score or put up buckets or his dribbling skill. Okay, you're a bona fide scorer. You're a bona fide bucket getter. You're a better version of Jamal Crawford. Love Jamal Crawford. Wouldn't call Jamal Crawford a leader of a team. Wouldn't say Jamal Crawford is the person that's going to lead a team to be winners to a championship. Wouldn't call him the galvanizing, polarizing figure for his team. I'm not going to consider Kyrie ever that. I'm not consider Jamal Crawford that because I love Jamal.
What happened to trigger in your brain how you feel it? I have an analyst.
So Kyrie starts to tell his story now. I feel like it's like the first time. He talks about his own mental struggles, like him trying to come into his own oneness. And he mentioned about going through his own mini level of insanity while trying to come into his oneness. And I make sure I mention it that way because it's something that we've spoken about definitely here on the podcast, right? When you're in a creative field, I always feel, right? I feel this more. I feel this more for creators more than anything else, right? That you go through a level of focal moments of insanity where you're questioning everything. And it's generally because sometimes you're thinking a little too far ahead, right? Or you're thinking about some of the things that you can't control. But you go through massive levels of insanity, and he was going through that. He was trying to find his oneness. And I think that's probably one of the most relatable things that happened, or relatable thing that he mentioned was that particular scenario, because I feel as a creator, right, not just here in this space, but through many different spaces throughout the decades, that when your mind, right, starts to open and unlock itself, right, as you start to gain and seek more knowledge, right, and then even more so as you go to seek purpose, right, because what Kyrie Irving really mentioned about his purpose, his true calling. Like basketball is just a thing that he does. Like for him, basketball is how people look at their 9-to-5 job. That's how he looks at basketball. It's just that thing that is there that I kind of do. This isn't what my passion is at. This isn't the thing that I feel like I'm gonna do that's gonna help me leave my mark on it.
Keep it kind of close.
Even though sometimes he tends to forget.
Keep it close. But she'll bring it right back.
Put in the position.
She will.
that he feels that, okay, basketball now isn't the thing to help him leave this mark on his goals after he has fully monetized basketball. He is already, and also one at his highest level. So there's things that people don't realize. Like, on top of Kyrie Irving already being one of the people that's already gotten one of those quarter billion contracts, right? He's also one of the top pushers in sales in the NBA when it comes to gear, especially when it comes to sneakers. Kyrie Irving has probably the best sneakers out of all active players. Like even all, we're talking about Steph, we're talking about LeBron, we're talking about Dame, Melo, both of them. So Kyrie Irving, like I said, it's weird, right? Because you can always hear that he's aiming for more. But even in that quest, right? In that quest for upper enlightenment, you can see and you can hear how he gets contradictory in himself. And I still wonder.
You know this that CrossFit started as a planned community?
I still wonder when it comes to Kyrie. How do you pay him? How do you compensate Kyrie for his talents and also his tendencies? Because that's the thing that makes you not want to give Kyrie another quarter of a billion deal. Another 5-year, $250 million deal. It's not because of his talent that you hesitate. It's because of his tendencies that you hesitate. He has a lot of bad habits.
She's good, Joe. What's your name?
And
she's a really good dog.
He treats playing in the NBA like somebody that doesn't want to go to their job. That they're really just there, and they do just enough to not get fired. They're there just to get that pay. They're just there because that's what pays the bills. Not anybody that's really happy. They have happy moments. They have
Stop trying to show my asshole. I don't want to show my asshole. I'm proper.
And speaking of disgruntled workers, right?
It's fine.
ESPN, I don't know if you guys watch ESPN this week at ESPN, this is the second time we're actually talking about it.
All dogs had it.
All dogs go to heaven?
Just a little black triangle, and then it was all this color behind it. Like every single puppy had a triangle.
This week they've had like Rat Butler, or as you guys know, Patrick Butler. I like to call him Rat Butler, Master Splinter. They've had him on the show, on a series of shows, right? The round robin morning shows, this whole entire week so far. He started off with an appearance on Monday, and then he just came out there and started dropping bombs, started naming names, and was just and more than anything, you want to take a lot of shots at Chris Paul, right? And it started on Monday, and he talked about Chris Paul's game, and Chris Paul's lack of defense, and
I think she'll be probably
a lot of criticism of Chris Paul, but and rightfully so, he asked Stephen A. Smith and the people at ESPN to give Chris Paul the same slander that they give everybody else when they keep coming up short as often as Chris Paul does. Which we've talked about Chris Paul's shortcomings a lot of times on this podcast. We call him Teflon Paul. Like he leaves a team and takes a shower, and those charges do not stick when he goes to his new team. He beats the cases every single time.
I'll give you a kiss.
So he took plenty of shots at Chris Paul, right? Defense is offense.
Is that right?
About
yes, they do. Will they hit people?
The teams, how serious or how prepared other teams are the night before when playing and guarding him. And it was really funny, right? Because you heard when they said like nobody was stick when they're playing like, when they go to Phoenix. Phoenix doesn't go for Chris Paul. He said Chris Paul specifically. There's no preparation. Like he goes out and trains all kinds of stuff. But while Patrick Beverly may have said that he was being unbiased, right? That was the furthest thing from the truth. While Patrick Beverly may have said that he's going to be as honest as possible, he wasn't doing that. He was being very emotional. And he was being very unbiased. And I want you to hear what he said. And I'm going to point out, and you're going to hear the exact moment when you realize that this is personal for him.
Called me Chris for like 2 years.
Like, this is highly personal.
I know, like,
We went to high school.
yeah. So
Both of us. We've been 20 years.
Motherfucker called me Chris for like 2 years, and I let it go.
Yeah, I thought your name was Brian.
How somebody call you by the wrong name for 2 years and you let it go? Play with me. That's what she said. Play with me. Because you were fucking with your feet earlier. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
No, did you get the ball? Nah, he was playing footsies with her earlier. Hey, just watch out with this stuff. Come on. She's alright. I'm watching over, dog.
I appreciate you.
I mean, I got lights if we break the lights.
I appreciate you.
Like, I got 90% of this sitting in a box at home. I did a podcast. I had a whole green screen behind me. We did videos. I was squirting in one of them.
Oh shit.
We were talking about this chick. Huh? Well, I do weed. Well, no, that's Chris. Chris does more weed food than I do.
No. You showed me.
I did Best Buds podcast. Yeah, the cannabis biscuits.
Yes.
Yes. So I got 90% of this shit sitting at home. So if anything does happen, I got you. I don't either. But people are stupid. And I try, like, I see what you're doing, dog. I'm not, but I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to give them all my shit. Like, I got all that. That shit's buried away, bro. Like, I want to dig that shit out. Like, nah, fuck that, bro. Like,
I hear you out there trying. I do.
Like, I mean, it's my animal, so I gotta control. If I'm gonna control her, I gotta control the people that I'm trying to have control her.
At least you make at least an honest attempt to.
And if they don't, I just try and not put it by them. Or I'll say, like, you heard me. I'll get vocal. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not the person, bro. Like, I gotta fuck you with my lip for a reason.
So let's get back in the rap battle, right? We gotta do something. So we go left all the time on the podcast. We gotta come up with a hard break pretty soon. They're not hard break. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I find Richard.
Get the ball. She loves when you fuck with her. Come on.
So, like I said, you guys was very personal for rap battle.
Yeah, because you're playing with her like that. She's not doing it to be mean, though. You know what you're doing. That's awesome. I actually was kind of like that. Yes.
Actually, this too much.
No. What he's doing is okay. Because he's playing with her kind of like I do. She's not being violent.
she's talking.
Hey.
That's the only way she talks. That's how she talks.
She is a very vocal.
She's talking. She's not trying to hurt him.
You know what she said? I win.
No, she said, motherfucker, play with me.
Yeah, she's like, I win, I'll give you another chance.
He beat the fight.
That's exactly what she's like, I win.
So if you gonna tell me that he don't go up,
Right.
he don't
I got it. She's excited about
If she wanted to hurt him, she could have.
She's not.
She's just vocal.
You tell him. You tell him.
Yes. You tell him, or play with him already.
She loves it.
What did I just say though?
I'm just letting you know how NBA players feel.
I believe you, but what I'm saying
But that's the game.
What he's doing is him telling Rob.
All the petty calls,
But I know
all the
how
swipe
he
throughs
is.
at the end, point where he
knows.
gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs at the end. I mean, this guy is out, man. We gonna be honest. We want to be really honest.
Yes.
He should have fouled out. He should have fouled out.
Did you hear it? Did you catch it? Right? So I told you there's two parts. And it starts off at the first moment that you realize it's personal. The energy and the tone of Patrick Beverly's voice changes so drastically. It's almost like he uses all emotion. Listen to how that starts again.
Man, ain't nobody worried about Chris Paul and play for his sons. Nobody in the NBA.
What did I?
He went dead in his voice. Go check that part out. His demeanor changes. He gets monotone. He goes stone face. And he delivers.
Man, ain't nobody worried
You know what's
about
funny
Chris
is
Paul and play for
I
his sons.
thought of something
Nobody
about
in the
that.
NBA.
And then, and even then, you may not have realized that it was a really emotional thing. I remember I just took that one, but I was like, damn, his whole demeanor just changed, as if, like, yo, somebody just walked into the room that he don't like. And then you heard the moment that he got that it was really personal.
Should have fouled out. He should have fouled out. Oh man, ain't
Right
nobody
there.
worried about Chris Paul and play for his sons. Nobody in the NBA.
What did I just say?
I'm just letting you know how NBA players feel.
I believe you, but what I'm saying is.
But that's the game to a point where he gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs at the end. I mean, this guy is out, man. We want to be really honest.
Yes.
He should have fouled out.
You hear it?
He should have fouled out. Oh man, I want to be really honest.
Yes.
He should have fouled out. He should have fouled out. Want to be really honest?
Yes.
He should have fouled out. He should have fouled out. Oh man, ain't nobody.
Right there. That should have found out. Should have found out. You know how he got emotional right there? That's personal. That's a personal moment that happened that he did not agree with. That he thought it's one of those reasons, again, why Chris Paul is considered one of the greatest. Because you understand, like every time they talk about Chris Paul being one of the greatest point guards of all time, they say, okay, let's talk about it. Name them. Where do you put him? And listen, he's one of. I would give him one of. And there's a lot of people I would not put him ahead of. A lot of people do. I'm sorry. Like, you gotta come through. You have to be iconic as a player to get your roses, to really get your place in the list of the greatest of the greatest. You have to be damn near game changer. You understand? Like there are a lot of point guards that I mentioned. Jerry West, logo. Oscar Robertson, the first to do a triple-double. Also to give us free agency. Magic.
That's why I'm like,
Steph.
but I'm not
Game-changing people. Come on. Steph changed the way we play basketball.
So you want to go play with Joe?
So, I understand that Patrick Beverly, there was some truth in that. Chris Paul doesn't get the right amount of criticism. That Chris Paul does get a lot of passes, right? And
try and better.
He also mentioned something about Chris Paul, right?
She's not going to play.
That I found it interesting, right? And this is also when I realized because when similar questions were asked about Chris Paul that were asked about James Harden, the same reasons he used to criticize Chris Paul were the same things he was trying to use to give credit to James Harden. The same thing he using to discredit Chris Paul, he did not use to discredit James Harden. And then you find out, oh, James Harden is his brother. He's not going to talk bad about James Harden. He's not going to be honest about how he feels about Chris Paul, about James Harden, any situation that's involved with James Harden. See, he doesn't like Chris Paul. He even let that slip. And him and Chris Paul used to play together like an AAU campus at some point in time back in the day. He busted his ass at AAU campus. Like you understand, like it's some pettiness back then it goes back to. But there was something very specific again that he said. And this was probably the third time he exposed himself. Right? At least one of the times it stuck out to me. It was the third time he exposed himself in this sentence, in this one statement alone. And again, it's because it's something that he says here about Chris Paul. But yet, when he talks about James Harden, he doesn't mention any of this stuff about James Harden. But if you listen closely, the same exact thing he says about Chris Paul can be applied to James Harden. Just insert James Harden, and you'll hear it.
Good luck, man.
I believe you, but what I'm saying is,
finesse the game to a point where he gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs at the end. I mean, this guy finesse the game to a point where he gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs at the end. I mean, this guy finesse the game to a point where he gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs at the end.
You know, like I'm already up there.
Right there.
I can't go in there. And if
that statement right there is the one I'm talking about. He has finessed the game to get all of the petty calls, to get all of the swipe throughs. If that is not James Harden's game, I don't know what is. But then when you hear him talk about who needs to get paid and who needs to get that max dollar, while he is saying this about CP3's game,
I mean, this guy finesse the game to a point where he gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs that.
But yet when he talked about James Harden no longer being a 33-point per game person, and he has now dropped down to being a 20-point per game person, right? And we all know it's because the NBA changed the rules. Because
I mean, this guy finesse the game to a point where he gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs.
He's getting all the petty calls and all the swipe throughs. A big portion of the reason why the NBA changed their rules is because of guys like James Harden. And you've seen it reduce 10 points off his average. 10! That's how fugazi his game was. But yet Patrick Beverly, y'all just call him Patrick Beverly, does not recognize that. Because he hates Chris Paul. There's real bad blood there. And obviously James Harden is his boy, his brother. He's not going to say one bad word about him. He's not going to be see? Patrick Beverly came on First Take this week and he dropped a bunch of hot takes and he thought for a second that's what First Take, that's what ESPN was about. That's what First Take about. Let me just come out here and say the most outlandish shit about one of the most decorated players in the game, because that's what he believes goes on there. But it's deeper than rap. And he realized that you have to be that way kind of across the board. And
Still, dude, she's a baby.
You can't be so blatant to show
Only 5 months.
your objective colors like that. Especially in day one. Because see, when you came out there throwing the kind of shrapnel that he did, and like I said, he talked about private conversations. You understand, like people in league driving, like you understand stuff like that, locker room, phone calls. Like he made reference to all of this stuff when he talked about Chris Paul's game. Like I said, he was not nice at all. He went onto ESPN's round robin of shows and he was like,
But then he'll cover all these classic songs. Like he does.
I thought he was laying them out, but then
it's the best cover.
in real life, and you know, he doesn't realize that. He's talking to professional pontificate. I do this shit for a living.
The bar is real high on that.
And
you tell me you're gonna do some freaking
eventually,
that's like a girl
they're
saying she's gonna
gonna
cover it.
ask you the right question or series enough questions that whatever you said strongly before, they're gonna see if you're from that belief everywhere.
That's a fucking.
If you're just wishy-washy with it.
My buddy who said he
And they realize that you're wishy-washy with it, right?
Here we come together, it's just lashed
92 to 69. See, this goes to all the people that have that recency bias.
Karaoke's tomorrow.
Luka did so well that he had
I'll make sure not to be here.
no, that he did that. Oh, that with all that.
That's right, Joe. You can sing with me
No,
sometime.
it doesn't happen.
We
We saw this
will do El
Boston
Myron
and Miami. Now, see, Miami, Boston has hope. Boston showed something in the last series they could possibly do this series, and that is once they realize how physical that their opposing team is playing, they have the ability, they believe they have the ability to go ahead and adjust and match it, if not come out stronger. Not only do they believe they have that capability, but you also was missing the head of the snake.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this game to see how this blowout really took place. But again, immediately you see. No, that's not.
So the tattoo that I have here.
Okay, they got a timeout. I was about to see who Luke was gonna bring the ball up, who's gonna be guarding him. Because right now this game is 96 to 69. You can't make up these kind of scores. Is it a full moon tonight? That was early this week, wasn't it? So folks, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take a break here pretty soon. Right? For everybody else, or for everybody that's listening, you're gonna be hearing me on a commercial. For everybody in the pod feed, we're gonna be losing you guys pretty soon. Right, as you guys know, this is a hard break that we take as we use the pod feed. But don't you guys worry, that's on the pod line. We will open up a new feed for you guys to go ahead and call into the podcast whenever you guys are ready. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be right back.
Stop pulling bitches around.
They didn't join this team to win championships. Famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier.
Yeah, I know, right? It came out of his mouth. He's like, oh, this is yours. Yeah, thank you. He usually does.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, your combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier. They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier.
I can't help you with either. Nah, dollar hand job Thursdays is the only day I do.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. They're absolutely and the only contract they sign
Thursday.
I buy lighters all the time. I got bright stickers.
Hey, you got a book of lighters? I used to have them. I stole them all from me. You got an extra lighter? I have no lighter. God damn it.
Alright, here we go.
I used to have.
And we're back with MyT Sports Podcast. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the last hour of the podcast. Oh shit.
Everybody's careful.
Do you guys have been listening to? 3 whole minutes of commercial.
Sorry, man, those were days one time. How are you, man?
So we are back on the air. So let's just take a little peek at this. 8 minutes left to go in the 4. 69.98. I don't know why they're showing Reggie Miller. He must not be cooking. He's showing Reggie. They're showing Jordan Poole. He must be cooking.
There's so much you can take there.
Okay, so
I know you know.
so more than anything, right? I'm realizing that, and I've realized this before, right? And I think it's showing Sean lost another call that officially gave out on.
I'll recognize you next time I see you.
So let's get into the final hour. The final hour is a bunch of questions, right? It really is a bunch. It's a series of questions about a lot of the series that we have going on, right? But before we get into that, right, let's get into let's not forget about a certain individual that is not with us physically, right?
That's why I'm here right now, brother.
Hey, I think that's cool.
I'm not doing
Somebody that's not with us. Like they're still living. They're just not safely living in America anymore amongst their family. So, hey ladies!
That's a beast.
As you guys know, what we've done here on this podcast for God knows how long now. It feels like 6, 7 weeks now, almost 2 months, for a good majority of the time that she's been in the hospital. And that is make sure that we spend some time every single podcast to talk about what we're doing and make sure that But when we talk about, let's free Brittany Griner, none, right? But one thing that we all can really control, and that is just keep Brittany Griner in our hopes and prayers. Let's see if we can get her back home. If you guys are unaware that one of our most decorated NBA superstars is currently being held hostage in Russia, right? So she's a 6'9" center in the WNBA. She's one of the greatest centers to play the game of basketball. She is the third woman in history to dunk a ball in a game. She's a champion, 7-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 8-time 3-time first team, 3-time second team, 2-time defensive player, 3-time defensive first team, 4-time defensive second team, all rookie team, NCAA champion, most outstanding player, AP player of the year, 3-time Big 12 player of the year, 3-time All-Star, 4-time high school player of the year, all that. One of the most highly decorated people coming out of high school, and then become one of the most highly decorated people in 4 years of college. And also one of the most highly decorated women in WNBA history. Really good is just an athlete and
Oh my God.
And you just see people just get off the
But I mean, like,
yeah, I mean, like, hey,
was it like that plays all the time? Like they call every like what was it like eight power plays they got?
and they fucked up everyone.
Mosquitoes over here. So always have to talk about making sure that Brittany Griner gets freed. And like I said, more than anything, like just keep us in our thoughts and prayers, because we know that for a good portion, so far, for a good portion of entertainment, it was almost like there was a hush order almost about Brittany Griner, because they didn't want her to be more valuable, so that Russia could up the ante of what they would kind of expect from her, right? Or the value back from her. And as we've seen, as she has gained more value or gained any type of value, Russia is over there asking for a different thing. So now we have Brittany Griner being stuck in the middle of basically what's a Cold War.